With rat rotting, as in life, sometimes your plans just don't work out.
Okay, I got y'all looking at something as I'm looking at it. Got you lined up on that hood? Yeah, just about the edge of that hood. There you go. Okay, I did not know that I was going to use these side exits for this hood at all. I had no intention of using these. Didn't even know I was going to use the hood. Thought I was just going to use the grill, and I thought the grill was going to sit back in here. Well, as I began to put it all together and set it up there and mock it up, I found out that, boy, that looked pretty good with these side edges on there. All together and sitting down low. And the grill already has a natural rake to it. You see the grill? Yeah, even more than that because the back end's sitting kind of high right now. But boy, it just looked good sitting down in there. And then also, I got it put together. This hood, the shape of this hood on the bottom just naturally followed the curve in the frame. Amazing when it's sitting down there how it just worked out. It was just perfect. So I decided, yes, I am going to use this. Yes, I'm going to use that. I like the looks of it. I ran a, I don't know, 2x4 or something from the top of that cowl down through this center of this hood so that I'd get the right slope to it, the right rake. This hood's sagging a little bit in the middle right now, but y'all seen that support I made that takes care of that. But there was something about it that I was not happy with. And there was a guy even commented about it. And I was not happy with this distance right here, the distance between the back of this hood and the front of the engine. Was never happy with that. It's actually, I've got it sitting back about 6 inches from where it was. So it would have been, well, actually you can see right here. Yeah, 5 inches. Because these holes would go right here. These holes would go right here where this is where it's bolted. So that distance from there to there is a good 5 inches. So I've got it sitting back 5 inches further than it was when it was all mounted up and when I have my little fancy little brace in there that holds the top of this hood up. The guy commented and said, why? I mean, if you can imagine that, seeing that further back, that would have put that edge of this hood at, okay, we got another 5 inches from there. Would have put the hood a good 14 inches, the back of the hood about 14 inches from the back of the hood to here. And I did not like that. I did not like all that gaposis in there. And there was a guy commented on that. He said, why is there so much distance between the back of the hood and the front of the engine? And I explained about how that, the grill goes down in between the frame rails and as far back as you can pull it. It hits the cross member and then that's as far as you can go. So that leaves that big gap, and the short version is, I think I told him the short version is I screwed up. So basically that's what happened. I screwed up in the whole design.
However, unlike life, with rat rotting, there are do-overs.
I'm going to change things. I have made an executive incision. I'm going to, like I said, I've got this 5 inches back further than it was. Going to bring it back about another 5 inches. So instead of having 14 inches between here and here, instead of being 14 inches, it'll be 4. Cover up the pulleys like I wanted to do. I can live with that. With this bad boy in here, you know, just under that hood. Still plenty of room for the radiator, that doesn't change. But I'm going to get you inside and let you take a look at some things. So, when I built all this, this sits up under here, up under the hood, you know, and you've seen all that. But when I built all this, you can see I have this notched out right there, and that's to allow for the tie rod. That's notched out on each side for the tie rod. But what I've been doing is I have been allowing this framework, this heavy framework, I've been letting that determine where this hood's going to set. I've had this down in front of the cross member and built some brackets to fold into this framework. So I've been letting this dictate my life. Well, I've decided to I'm going to cut this out and weld it back. I'll move it forward and weld it back. I know how to weld, so I can do that. I can cut this out and move it anywhere I want it. Drop this thing down, notch it out further, even further yet. It'll be notched out, well, right there. But this notch here will go way up here, right there, and that's going to allow me to pull this whole thing back. What, a good 7-8 inches, yeah. So what that means is, well, I'll come around and get you off the tripod. I'll get you off the tripod, then I'll break the news to you. When I cut that brace out of there, and move everything forward, or back rather, notch it forward, move the hood, grill, everything back, so that the hood comes up over my pulleys where it should. What that means is, all this thing that I spent hours and hours building, I'm going to rip it all out. It's all coming out. I'd never be happy with it. It would haunt me for the rest of my days. So, where's my pointer? Get my pointer again. I'm going to show y'all something. You see, get you a frame here. See this little tack weld right there? It's 2 inches long. That little tack. It's just a little tack. It's tacked here and it's tacked all the way down the other side too. I'm gonna cut that all out. I'm gonna cut those tacks. And the whole thing's coming out. I never did like it anyway. The only part I liked was this. And I'm gonna keep that and use it up under my hood, but the rest of it's all gonna go. I'm gonna rip it out and start over.
Girl, don't do it. It's not worth it. I'm not gonna do it, girl. I was just thinking about it. I'm not gonna do it.
Alright, let's see what we got here. We have, at the moment, I have this thing back in position where it's resting on that support that I've built. You know, you can tell that the arc is nice here. And it's exactly the same shape as the top of that cowl back there by the windshield. And the holes are aligned, the planets are aligned, the planets are all lined up. Karma's great. Yeah. So let's see what we got from the back of the hood to the front of this valve cover. I would say is 11.5 inches. Pretty close to it. So let's see what we can gain. Let's see if we can improve upon that by ripping everything out that I already done. Yeah. Okay, we've got a grill support right there, and that's where it previously lived. That's its previous address right there. That's where it has previously been residing. Same thing on the other side. So I'm going to cut that off because it's never going to work again. This tapers forward. So if I shove this back, I'm going to be, you know, I could put a spacer in there, but why bother? It's just an L-shaped bracket. It's easy to make. I think I'll just cut it out and make a new one that fits right. Come off there, little feller. Come on. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think what I'm going to do first, I've got a line cut there and it gets me back over the cross member. Should I decide to go there, I decided to boldly go there, where no man has gone before. I think I'll just go ahead and follow that line for right now. Okay, once again I will box those frame horns out front and bring them to a rounded tip and make them look nice, and you won't see them anyway because I'm going to put fenders on it, and I'm going to put a bumper on the front, bumperette made out of that big honking chain I got. But let's see where we're at in relation to where we were, the way we were. What was it? 11.5 inches, I do believe. Now this is why we can't have nice things. We went from 11.5 to, wow, 11.5 to 5, and that looks a whole lot better to me. To me, it was worth it to get that hood closer to the engine. And I might finesse another inch out of it. Let me back off over here and gander at that just a little bit, boy. That's not too bad. Mm-hmm. Why do I do this stuff? Why do I drive myself insane with this OCD stuff? I don't really know how to build a car, but I can get away with it because of my OCD. Well, I would say that is just right about where that hood is going to live. I think that's going to be its home. I just need to make it stationary right there.
Okay, I spent hours and hours and hours and hours measuring and fretting and trying to get everything just ever so, and I'm going to spare you all the building the mounts and welding all that in because you've already seen it.
I did it.
Okay, it's been so long since I made a video, I don't remember what I've filmed and what I haven't filmed. I'll just have to go back into the the video and when I pull this card out of the camera and see where I'm at. I know since the last time I put a video up, I've changed this whole nose. I moved this nose back a good 8 inches. I got rid of that gaposis that was between the hood and the engine. At least it's way better. It's 8 inches better. I kind of want to get working on the clutch and hanging the pedals. I've got the pedals stuck up under there. I think those pedals out of that 65 GMC cab is going to work if I go that route. I need to shorten them up a little bit, build a bracket to mount them, and that's all the good stuff. That's the fun stuff. But while I'm on this front end, I think I might go ahead and mock up those fenders. I need to see where they're going to sit with the weight of this thing on the ground. I don't know how high I'm going to have to set them to clear the tires, to have room for the tires to turn inside those fenders. I really don't want to trim the fenders. If I had to, I could trim them and then put a piece of round stock, tack a piece of round stock on there to give it a new fender well lip, but I'm not going to do that unless I have to. I think they're going to sit pretty high, and that's probably okay too. It's a rat rod, you know. That's what my friend Rat Rod Bob says. Who cares? It's a rat rod. You know, I think that's going to work out. It always works out with rat rodding because there are no rules. Anything you want. I can't believe how easy that thing turns, even with all the weight on it. There's a lot of people worried about that, but I wasn't, because this thing actually has less weight on the front end than it did before, because that engine set so far back. Yeah, I think that's going to work just about where it is right there. That clears. Completely clears. I don't know if y'all can see me or not. I need to see what you're seeing. Yeah, we're not exactly level down here. The back of this fender could come down a little bit. If it does, it'll have to come back a little and up in the front a little. I hate to bring it too high in the front because got those headlight buckets that mount here. I don't want to get in the way of them, but if I have to cut out for them, I will. I'm going to turn that back. I'll turn that back that way again. See how much clearance I got up in the front. Well, I can bring that fender back, but when I do, that's going to make it even higher, like this area. But it is what it is. Okay, I pulled that fender back a little bit and dropped it down a little bit, and I think I'm pretty well centered now in the wheel well. Let's see what she does. You seen it move a little bit before, but it wasn't the tire bumping the fender. It was a block that I had sitting underneath the inside, bumping the one of the steering knuckles in there. You doing it? Let's go lefty loosey. I think I'm bumping right there. Just a hair. Just a smidgen. Right there. So, you come up in the front just a little bit. Just a little bit. Or not much. Oh, oh, that's ever so close. Yeah.
Alright, we're getting it. We just ain't got it yet.
Okay, the last episode you watched us drag home that old square body, that 77 Cheyenne, and that night it got pushed into the garage and the engine was out. 4 days later, here's what happened. Yeah, we're going to do something about that exhaust. I know, it don't sound right, but that'll be taken care of. You know, I talked to Warren today, and he said he wanted to thank me and the other YouTubers that are out there building stuff in the garage, doing stuff, and he said it got him motivated. And, you know, in just a few hours, that old truck was saved from the crusher, and now he's driving it down the road. And I think that's a wonderful thing.
Okay guys, now you see why I haven't made a video in a while. Because I've been going backwards. You know, plus there's just a lot of stuff that just takes time. A lot of time, and stuff you really don't want to see. You know, I did a live stream the other night, and it turned out to be an hour and a half. And I didn't realize how long it went, but I took it down because there was a copyright claim anyway. I had music going in the shop, and oh, YouTube hates that. Oh, they hate it. So, anyway, but all I did in that hour and a half was just take those old fenders and kind of straighten them up in a few places and weld up all the cracks. That took an hour and a half, you know, and I had to get it down on the floor and wrestle it like a big old bear, you know. I'm sure it was comical. I hate that I missed the comments. I probably shouldn't have done that because I didn't get to visit with the folks, and that's always fun. And Dee Dee Dan said he was in there giving me a hard time, but I was too busy to look at what he was saying, and I hate that I missed out on that. Anyway, yeah, and you know, we had 10 inches of snow the other day, and you know my driveway's a mile and a half, and this time I had some help cleaning it up, but sometimes I have to shovel my roof too, in addition to cleaning up the road, and in addition to cleaning up the big area out back where we've got the rigs parked. So that's time consuming, and plus I've got a business to run, and I'm getting pretty busy with that. Getting things lined up for spring. Grafting season will be starting before long. And then there's just life. And then sometimes I just don't feel like making a video. Yep, that's just how it is. But I'm going to try to keep them as regular as I can until grafting season starts. I'll do the best I can. In the meantime, I want you to listen to a little snippet of music. Ran across this young man, and he does... if any of you have been over to old Welding Wire's old music, you see some videos where I'm doing the singing parts, different parts, and playing all the instruments and putting it all together. And it's kind of a one-man show, and all done on the computer, and it's kind of fun. That's my hobby. Well, one of my hobbies. But I ran across a young man who does that, and he does it far better than I do because he's a much better musician. But I'm going to play a little snippet of it, and I want you to listen to it. If you like that kind of music, I'm going to put the name of his channel down here on the bottom of the screen. Y'all go over and pay Josh a visit and tell him old Waylon sent you. And subscribe to his channel. Let's get him to 1,000. Let's see how fast we can get him to 1,000 subscribers. That'll be fun.
All right, hang on.
1, 2, 3.
All right, I guess that's about it for this time. Hey, you know what? I sure do appreciate you